everybody, I'm Dot McElhone and I'll be your instructor for Read 534 Classroom Reading and Writing Assessment. I love teaching this course and I'm super excited because I've revamped it completely since the last time I taught it, and we're going to use lots more ed tech and it's going to be a lot more engaging, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I wanted to give you a quick tour in case this is your first time working with D2L. And even if it's not, it's nice to have a little help looking around the D2L site. So when you get into the course, probably I'll actually have an announcement by the time you're there. And if you go to content, you will see the table of contents, and all you'll see is Start Here, Instructor Bio and Syllabus, and Week 1. I've completely prepared all of the weeks coming up all the way through week 11, and I don't want to post them all just yet because I don't want to overwhelm you. So for now, you've got the Meet Your Instructor, and there it is. As you can see, my hair changes color a lot. So don't be alarmed if you see me next week with that color. And then you also have the course syllabus, which is pretty important. So if you look here, you'll be able to download it. I suppose it takes a moment with Camtasia. You can download it as a Word document. Wow, the formatting is funky in here. Oh, it's super funky. So let's definitely download that as a Word document, and I will post it in a couple of formats to make sure that it's accessible for everyone. So downloaded, it should look like this. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is a much more user-friendly version. So you've got your course overview, course description. I'm going to let you read those. The conceptual framework. I'm just scrolling through the dispositions. Oregon Teacher Standards and Practices standards that we need to address. And then also here you can click and it'll link you to the International Literacy Association standards that we'll be addressing this term. And we're looking at these reading literacy specialist standards. So I'll take us back into the syllabus from there, and you can see which standards are addressed and which projects and so on. The reading for the course is a book that I've had a lot of positive feedback on from students. It's Assessment for Reading Instruction, and we're going to just use the ebook, and that way no one has to worry about shipping or anything like that. It's identical to the paper book. If you prefer to order the paper book, you're welcome to do that, but the ebook should work just great. And of course, we'll have additional articles and chapters in D2L. The course requirements, your big project will be a tutoring project with one student who would benefit from some extra support in reading or writing. And you'll work with that student throughout the term. It can be a student in your class, a child in your neighborhood, not your own child. It's better to have someone else's child to work with for this one. And I just have a quick description here so as not to overwhelm you, but you can follow this link and it should take you into a Google document, theoretically. Yes. And this will show you the description of the assignment, each of the steps that we'll go through, and then how everything is scored. And remember, we have the whole term to work on that, so no need to get overwhelmed with it now. The first steps will just be to find a student to work with. As part of that tutoring project, you'll be working with a tool called Flipgrid, which is just a really simple way to post video updates, and you get a maximum of 90 seconds to work with the video, and I'll probably post a little tutorial about how to use Flipgrid. Later in the term, in the 5th through 7th weeks, we're going to use some Google Sheets to gather a database of instructional strategies that you can use this term and in the future. We'll do a sort of medium-sized assignment where we'll look at a video of instruction designed to support English language development and sort of reverse engineer some components for that. So you can follow the link here to learn more about that assignment. That's not due until the end of May. So if knowing too much up front overwhelms you, there's no need to look into this one just yet. If you're a big picture person like me, it might be helpful. The weekly online reading applications are what you would normally think of as your D2L discussion posts. And we have a couple of those, but we're also using some tools like dot storming and Flipgrid to just make it a little bit more engaging. And each of those tasks will be worth 1 to 3 points, and you'll see that listed out in the chart that I'm about to get to. Collaboration and responses to classmates. So this is a really important part of how I've designed the course. As I'm sure you know, learning is a social process. It's best supported through community, and that's a little tricky online. So we need to intentionally build that community together. And so I'd like you to sort of think about it as though you were taking a face-to-face class where you would engage with classmates, pose questions to support your learning and theirs, offer ideas, think together. So at a bare minimum, to earn 7 points on this 10-point task for the term, I expect you to respond at least once to each conversation that we have in Flipgrid, dot storming, D2L, to other people's posts. So you do your post and then respond to someone. And then if you would like to go for the full 10 points, what I'm looking for is sort of ongoing intentional participation in conversation that moves our thinking forward. So I want those conversations to blossom in organic, meaningful ways. So I don't want to say like, do 3 responses to each post or whatever the requirement might be. If you're going above the minimum and you're genuinely trying to engage with people, deepen your own learning and the learning of your classmates, you'll be on your way to 10 points. So if you're just intentional and engaged, you'll be just fine there. Course policies, I would like you to read those, of course. Late assignments are spoken to here. I want you to know that I'll be asking you for feedback throughout the term so I can find out what's working for you and how I can tweak things to make it work better for you. And it's really important to give that feedback along the way because this is your life. It's happening now. And it's better to get things fixed if they're not working for you rather than wait until the end of a term and have wasted all those weeks being unhappy. Grading scales here, some reminders about netiquette. And then this chart is sort of the guide for the whole course. So in each week in D2L, you'll see a row of this chart and it shows you the day the module will be posted. So typically that will be on Tuesday, basically every week except the first week. I'll plan to post that on Tuesday. And then your work will be due on Sunday. And that gives me Monday to review, see what adjustments I need to make and so on. So I may need to make some adjustments to the syllabus, but this is the plan. So you'll find the topics we'll cover here, the readings. Here's the course textbook again, and you just need to purchase that, and you'll be able to download it. Read the whole syllabus and the week 1 overview page. I'll show you where that is. And then explore the D2L site. Make sure you know where things are. I guess we aren't using drop boxes. I'll take that out. McKenna and Stahl, chapter 1. So that's the first chapter of this text that you're purchasing. And then I'd like you to read the first 8 pages of those standards that I took you to here. So the first 4 pages are for reading and literacy specialists, and then the next 4 are for literacy coaches to kind of self-assess and consider where you are in your development as a reading specialist and professional. Also, I encourage you to put the assignments and the information in your personal calendar so you can keep track. Your tasks for this week that are due on Sunday, April 8th, are to do a Flipgrid personal introduction, to do another little Flipgrid video about the ILA standards and the cognitive model, which you'll read about in chapter 1. Those are 90-second videos. And when you click this link, which I will in a second, it'll give you information about how to do that. And then for your literacy tutoring project, your big project you'll work on throughout the term, you'll connect with a school where you can work one-on-one with a student who struggles with reading or writing for your literacy tutoring assignment. If you're already working in a classroom and perhaps you have a group of readers that you work with that are struggling with some facets of reading, you can just choose a student out of that group, and it's fine to teach in the group if that works best for you. But one-on-one is plenty. So depending on the mobility of your student population, it could also be wise to have at least 2 students in mind and get permission from both of those students' parents, so that if someone moves away, you're not stuck in a rut or a tricky situation. There's a parent guardian permission form. You can follow the link here and it'll take you right there. So you can just download this or copy paste it and fill in your information. That's really important that we get that permission. And then there's also a version in Spanish. I've done my best with the translation there. And then once you have completed the permission form and gotten that signed, you can go to this Google form, and this will just be a quick task that'll help me keep track. So your name, the email you'd like me to use, so that's a good way for me to just gather that information if I need to email you. The pseudonym you'll use for your K-12 student, because we'll never use that child or adolescent's real name. We won't talk about their real school. We're going to protect their identity, and we'll take that seriously. So you'll include their grade level and anything else that seems really important to know about the student. It might be about an IEP or their native language, could be something else. You're going to affirm that you've gathered the permission form and that you'll protect the privacy of the student, and that you won't share information beyond our class and with the parent and teachers and so on. So I'm going to have you hold on to that permission form, because per FERPA guidelines, I shouldn't see their name, but it's really important that you have that in case there's some question about whether you got permission. Okay, I'll take you right back here for one more stop. This is a link to your first Flipgrid. So the way Flipgrid works is you click the link and then you'll see the task instructions here. So you're going to do a 90-second video, tell us how to pronounce your name, a little bit about your background, what you want to tell us, your current role, interests, that kind of thing, just however you'd like to introduce yourself. And when you click plus,